Hey everybody, Unstable Gamer here, and welcome back to another Disney Sorcerer's Arena video. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at Sorcerer Stones and everything you're going to need to know to make the best use of them in your roster. But first, before we do, if you're just now finding this channel and you want to stay up to date with this and other games, consider hitting that subscribe button so you don't miss out. All right, and welcome back. So first and foremost, what are Sorcerer Stones? Sorcerer Stones allow you to bump up specific stats for each one of your characters. That's pretty much what they are. That's all they do, but it does give you an edge in battle, specifically in PvP. So let's take a look at how we get these Sorcerer Stones. They are coming in these Sorcerer Trials. Right now we have Sorcerer Stone Trial 1, and it has 3 of the 7 total stones that we can get. And what I'm talking about specifically is upgrade material. So when we go into the event, you're going to be playing through these battles and you're going to be collecting these Sorcerer coins. Now it takes 1,000 Sorcerer coins in order to get 1 chipped stone. You're going to be battling through here to get these coins and these upgrade materials. And that's what's going to allow you to upgrade from a chipped to a flawed to a regular stone. And each upgrade allows for a specific percentage of whatever stat it is that you're taking a look at. So let's go ahead and take a look at what it takes to craft these stones, and then we'll come back here and then we'll go through some suggestions on how best to use those stones. All right, so this is a graphic that I got off the official Discord, and it tells us everything that we need to know about these stones. First, you have chip stones, flawed stones, and regular stones, like we said. You also have the faint starlights, which are used for tier 1 and tier 2, and then starlights, which are used for tier 2 and tier 3. Down below, you can see what you're going to need for a flawed and for a regular stone. So you need at least 3 chipped and 100 of the faint starlights to get 1 of the flawed stones. And in order to get the regular stones, you're going to need 4 flawed stones and 200 of the starlights. So essentially what you're going to need is 12 chipped stones if you want to go from a chipped to a regular. Plus, each one, we're going to go ahead and take a look at this real quick. But it's 50,000 gold for the first upgrade, and I believe it's 150,000 gold for the second upgrade, but we'll take a look at that real quick. All right, so let's go ahead and go in here real quick to go into Aladdin, and then we'll go into crafting. So right here, if I want to craft this right here, I need the 3 chipped stones, which I have right now. And I need 100 of these faint red starlights, so this is for offense. And it's going to cost 50,000 gold right there for me to get a flawed. So currently, a chip gives you a 5% boost in offense, and a flawed is going to give you a 10%. Now, if we want to take that to a normal, right here, I'm going to need the 4 flawed. Okay, it's 100,000 gold, not 150. And it's going to boost you up 15%, so you get a 5% increase for each one. Now, let's talk about how best to use these stones. There's probably going to be varying opinions out there, but there really is going to be, in my opinion, 3 stones that are going to outshine the rest of them. You're going to have offense, defense, and speed. We've discussed plenty of times in these types of turn-based RPG games, speed is king, and I would say 60% of the time, you're probably going to go ahead and use a speed stone in your characters. But I don't think that is necessary for absolutely everybody on your team. And the reason why I say that is, first, let's go ahead and take a look at a tank here. So I have defense slotted for Mordu because I don't want to slot Mordu with speed. When you take a look at your tanks, you want your tanks to be slow. And the reason for that is because you want the taunt to last as long as possible. If you slot one of your speed stones in your tank, let's just say you've got Mordu here and you've got a speed stone, you've popped your taunt, and then one of your other characters get to go, and then you come back to Mordu because it's his turn already. Whereas if you didn't slot the speed stone in Mordu, you probably could get 2 or 3 damage characters to deal their attacks, do some damage to the opposing team, while that taunt is still holding and protecting the rest of your team. So you want your tanks to protect, which is why you don't want speed. You want defense. I wouldn't even slot health, in my opinion, or offense. A tank really doesn't need to do a whole lot of damage. They're there to take the attention off the rest of your team and your damage dealers and your support. So in my opinion, your tank should have defense. Now, there's going to be some mathematics and stuff between as far as the difference between slotting defense and health. I think defense is probably the better play. So the reason why I say that is if we go in here and we go into defense right here, is how much damage is absorbed when a character is attacked. Whereas when you take a look at health, it's the amount of damage a character can sustain before being defeated. Now, what does that mean? Your defense mitigates the amount of damage that you take, which protects your health. So, in my opinion, and now there's going to have to be some numbers run and stuff like that. I think defense is better than health. I think we'll find out more about that over time. But your tanks need to be slotted with defense, in my opinion. Now, when it comes to your attackers, I think it's going to depend. So I think, let's go ahead and slot everybody by speed. Let's go ahead and go speed here and see who the fastest is. So if we take a look at this, Dash is the fastest, 122 speed. I don't even have him maxed out yet. But you really don't need to put speed in Dash because more often than not, he's going to go first. So I would actually go offense. You can go offense or you can go crit chance up. I would more go towards the offense because I like the for sure. I know that there's going to be some additional damage rather than a certain percent increase chance to crit. When you put Dash with Elastigirl, you're already going to get that. Now, if you put Dash in, let's say you put Dash in a Frozen team or something that is not where he's not in a team with Elastigirl, it may make sense to put that that crit chance in there. I still think offense is going to be the way to go, but I think there's going to need to be some more testing there. But for now, for attackers, I think depending on their speed, you're going to want to put in offense. So for Aladdin, I put speed because if you take a look at Aladdin, he's way down here at 110. I've got him maxed out except for the gear tier, and he's pretty slow. 110, I don't know. I mean, if you take a look at everybody else up here, he's got quite a bit above him, especially when you're going up against kingdom teams and things like that with Shan Yu and the speed increase for those kingdom. You want some higher speed. And Aladdin does some decent damage anyway, so instead of putting offense in him, I felt it was more appropriate to put in speed. Now, with Elsa, I think Elsa, it's more appropriate to put offense in there. You want to do as much damage as possible. She does a ton of damage. Let's do a little bit more damage because you already have a speed increase in there coming from Anna. And she's going to be paired up with Anna more often than not. Hopefully, everybody who's been telling me I've been pronouncing that wrong, I pronounced it right. Anna, right? So Elsa is going to be paired with Anna more often than not. So you're already going to get that speed increase. So I think the offense up for her is more critical. Now Zerg, I think offense up is probably the best for him as well. I mean, he is a little bit slower, but you've got a whole lot of other people on your team, and you've got a taunt that's going to be coming up that's going to protect Zerg most of the time anyway. And can you imagine Zerg with an offense stone, especially when you get it up to a regular stone, you do 15% damage. It's really not going to matter when he's going to go. He's going to take people out left and right, especially once you max him out. There's my opinion there, right? So your tanks need to be defense. Your attackers, depending on where they are with speed, you're going to either put a speed stone in there or you're going to put an offense stone in there. And then those are really the three that are going to be used the most. If you take a look at the higher levels of PvP, you're going to see those used more often than not. You're going to see some recovery and some crit power and things like that. That's going to that people will play here and there. But more often than not, you're going to see defense, speed, and offense. And 60, at least, the reason why I say 60% of the time, you got 5 people on your team. At least 3 of them are probably going to be slotted with speed. And then you're going to have an offense, and then you're going to have a defense in there. So I would say at least 40 to 60% of the time you're going to go ahead and put a speed stone in there. And it's going to get a little pricey. It's 150 total in order for 150,000 gold total in order for you to get a regular stone, and then you gotta build, right? You need to build. You need 12 of those chip stones in order to make 4 of those flawed, and that's 50. That's 50,000 a piece. So that's what? That's 200,000 a piece right there, plus your 100,000. So that's what, 300,000 gold to go from 12 chipped to 1 regular. So you definitely want to make sure that you plan appropriately for that. And then finally, let's go ahead and jump into the exchange really quick. I know I said I was wrapping up, but there we go. So it's 1,000. It's 1,000 in order to get 1 chipped stone, and then it's 2,000 to get 2. So it's 1,000 for each one of them. And you can go ahead and go into the store and pick out what you need, what you want. All right, everybody, that's what I had for you today. That's everything about Sorcerer Stones and how you can best use them. Very interested in your thoughts. Definitely let me know. And as always, I want to thank you all for taking the time to watch the video. If you liked it, make sure to hit that like button and share your thoughts and questions in the comments section below. Take care, everybody, and we'll talk to you next time.